I'm absolutely 100% behind nuclear, but I also am very sober about the prospects. I
Yeah.
see I'll reveal my cards, and then maybe you can
Yeah.
react to this. I think it's what are the biggest challenges? It's regulation, capital, and fuel.
Yep.
Would you agree, or is there another thing there? I mean, or handicap those? We have to focus on the regulation first? I mean, we've got to solve these things together. How do you prioritize them? How would you
Yeah.
prioritize them?
So the biggest, what I see within the current climate that we're in, I would completely agree with those three statements, like being big issues right now. But what I would broadly say is almost we've got this sort of chicken and egg problem. We have the demand. We have
Yeah.
companies that are kind of like, they're not signing it on paper yet, or they say, yeah, we want to build this. But then all of a sudden they're like, well, we don't see the supply chain for it. Well, the supply chain side of it says, oh, yeah, well, we want to do this too, but we don't see anybody signing on the dotted line yet. So we're not going to start building this. So, and
Right.
that kind of ties really closely into fuel, I think, especially here in America. One thing I've been pushing for is the Nuclear Fuel Security Act, which kind of restarts actually creating and producing our own uranium here domestically within the US.
Right.
Right now, most of our uranium comes from Russia because of global politics and global climate and everything. Congress is considering completely stopping even the uranium trade with Russia. We kind of let that keep going for a little bit, but even that's at risk right now. And without that, we don't have a source of fuel for our nuclear power plants, right? So we just have this whole chicken and egg problem, I think, with the supply chain. Everybody supports nuclear behind closed doors. I
Right.
spent a couple weeks ago in DC. I met with over a dozen congressmen and senators on both sides of the aisles.
Right.
Everyone is like, yeah, I'm all for nuclear, but nobody says it publicly. And what we need is bold leadership. We need that first one to be built. We need that first step to be taken. People are just scared of doing that. And I think that's something that is one of the biggest problems. I would agree completely with capital, regulation, and fuel as three of the main issues in terms of internally within the industry. Regulation, though, I think is sort of being solved. One other thing I've been pushing is the Advance Act for being included in the NDAA. That's like really relevant to today, so I don't know when this comes
Right.
out, but that promotes supporting our current fleet, changing the licensing process for these advanced reactors. Because if we follow the same licensing process, it's not the same technology, right?
Right.
These advanced reactors are just kind of this different technology. And this is part of the reason why I like SMRs with light water, because they're going to have a place to start from the regulation side to build a sensible and logical structure for the licensing process for these future SMRs of similar concepts, right? We can start with, okay, let's switch from a massive light water reactor to a SMR with light water. And now the next step after that is maybe a SMR with fuel, or with
Right.
liquid fuel.